You know what, guys? Today I decided to do something a little bit different. Normally I'll do videos around some of my old school arcade games I really enjoy playing. But today I'd actually like to take you through a little bit of some of my collection. As I mentioned before, me and my wife, we collect a lot of different stuff. I'm a huge movie collector, for example. You know, I've got VHS, I've got DVDs, I got Blu-rays, I got Laserdisc even. And then here recently, in more recent years, I've done more like the 4K movies, which are great. But anyways, thought I'd kind of step you guys through the 4K collection I have currently and give you guys an idea about some of the movies I'm looking forward to coming out, as well as some I even have on the way. So let's check it out real quick. I'll show you this collection and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So first of all, this is actually my actual rack that holds most of my 4K movies on here, as well as some other kind of statues and stuff like that. But so the top left corner here is literally just like the Marvel Universe movies. I have all of them except I need Doctor Strange still, and I need to get, what was it? Civil War. So I need those two movies still. So that's all I need to collect that collection. Or, I'm sorry, to finish that collection. We'll start in alphabetical order over here. So apologize for the lighting, guys. I don't have a lot of light in this room yet, but this is something I'm actually working on. But anyways, I've got these all in alphabetical order. Got a pretty good sized collection. We'll just kind of run through them real quick. So here is 2001 Space Odyssey. It's a great movie. Really enjoy it. A Few Good Men. Also another really good one. All right, slide that through there so you guys can see it. A Simple Favor. Me and my wife both enjoyed this movie. Really good casting. A Star is Born. Now, let me be honest with you. I did not care for this movie. Of course, I'm not going to give anything away, but I really didn't enjoy it. I don't know. I just something about the story. It didn't really grab me like I thought it would. We kept expecting some certain other events to happen in it, and it never did. So, just heads up on that one. I mean, check it out. Obviously, if you enjoy it, that's great. We did not care for it that much. So my wife is a big Aladdin fan, or I should say, actually, Jasmine fan. So here you go. Of course, we own the original Aladdin movie. And, we really dig the new one as well, so we picked up the new one. Let's see. Oh, Aliens. So this is the original Alien movie, the Steelbook edition. Really good. Really, really amazing. Came out, I think, in 1979. It's such a good movie. My theory around the Alien movies really is I feel like the first Alien movie is more like a horror movie. Because it's very suspenseful, very slow moving. You hardly ever see the alien. And the rest of the Alien movies, they're great. I love them. But they're more like, they're more like just action movies. Great movies, like I said, nonetheless. But, they're just not quite the same feel as the original Alien movie, which to me is an awesome horror flick. The next one I have in 4K is Alien Covenant in Steelbook. It's actually a pretty good one. Not one of my favorite Alien movies, but still really good. Alita. Steelbook. That was a great movie. Really enjoyed that one. If you guys haven't seen that, I knew nothing about the character before it. Because I never read the mangas or that on it. But if you get a chance, read that. It's really good. Or I'm sorry, see that movie. It's really good. I just started reading the actual books as well. Allied. It's a really good Brad Pitt movie during World War II. Really enjoyed that one. Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I believe is the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man, the last one he did. Angry Birds, we enjoy this with the kiddos. Apocalypse Now is really good. That's a Vietnam War movie. It's really good, really intense for its time. It came out, I think, in the late 70s as well. But it's really good. And in 4K, the quality looks absolutely amazing. It's the best I've ever seen it. Apollo 13, it's a good Tom Hanks movie. It's got Kevin Bacon as well. That's a really good story. True story, obviously, but really nice. Really enjoyed that one. Aquaman in 4K is a really nice steelbook case that we got. Assassin's Creed, another movie we didn't really care for. I don't know, it just had a lot of promise, but once we started watching, we just didn't really. The story never really grabbed us. There's a couple parts towards the end I really enjoyed, but overall, I just didn't really care for the movie. Atomic Blonde. My wife, just so you guys know, if you didn't already, I don't think she discussed it in our video prior, but she really is a huge Charlize Theron fan. She's been following Charlize for many years now. So we had the Atomic Blonde, of course, steelbook for that movie, and then they actually came out with another. Best Buy did another Atomic Blonde steelbook later, which we had to get because it was really nice, all nice and colorful. Love Christian. I'm a big Christian Bale fan, so I really enjoy his Batman series. So Batman Begins is really good. Even the animated Batmans are really good. Gotham by Gaslight, that's a really good story, really good take on, more like a Batman from the 1800s versus a modern day Batman, so more like that Jack the Ripper era, or like, I think it's like 1800s early on. Batman versus Superman, not bad. I wasn't big on this one, wasn't a huge fan, but overall not a bad movie. And then the Blade Runners are really good. We have those in 4K. Of course, that's the original one. And then the newer one, the one with Ryan Gosling in that one. It's really nice. Oh yeah, enjoyed the Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody movie. That was really good. We have that steelbook. This is an oldie, but a really good one. Bridge Over River Kwai. It has Alec Guinness, which if you guys not sure who that is, that's the original Obi-Wan. Really good movie. I think it's like from the 50s, but it really pops on 4K, so it really looks nice. All right, guys, we'll start back over here. We have, I'm too high, here we go. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that's a great alien movie from back in the day. We have Coco, such a good story. Very sweet movie, but me and my wife really enjoy that one. We have a lot of fun with the kiddos, and we're watching that one as well. Creed 2, which, it's a continuation of the Rocky movies, but, about Creed's son, so it's a really good story. I really enjoyed both those so far. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, very good action in that movie. A little over the top, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Daddy's Home, I'm a Will Ferrell fan, so picked this up and really enjoyed it. Daddy's Home too. Going back to the Batman's, Christian Bale Batman's, we got The Dark Knight. And of course, to finish the trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. Let's see, I started to get the Planet of the Apes movies, the newer ones. So here's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I actually haven't watched this one yet, so I will eventually. I think I started with, as we get to it later, I think I have Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I've seen that one with James Franco, but I've not yet seen Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, so at some point I get to watch that. The first Deadpool movie. We have Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, a really good movie as well. I ended up getting this 3-pack at Walmart a couple years ago. It's not too bad. Ender's Game's a good movie. I haven't watched the Last Witch Hunter yet, and Gods of Egypt. Sorry, it's a pretty good movie. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't it's one of those very visual movies. I wouldn't say the story's quite all there, but the visuals made it look really nice, and it was still a fun watch all the way through. Ooh, Evil Dead. So yeah, of course we're big fans of Bruce Campbell. So Evil Dead. We picked up Evil Dead 2 for the 4K as well, which I really enjoy that cover. It's like a slip cover, but it's really nice. That red kind of makes it pop. Red and silver. We did get the first Fantastic Beasts. We haven't seen the second one yet. I don't own that one yet, but we did enjoy this one. Really good. Fifth Element, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm a huge Fifth Element fan. I really liked Luc Besson's work, or however you pronounce his name, but he did The Fifth Element and he did Leon the Professional, but they're both amazing movies. So if you haven't seen one of those, they're just really good stories, and they're just really fun to watch. So I really enjoy the way he does his movies. This one was pretty good. We came out in the theater, so we decided to pick it up, Get Out. That was a lot of fun to watch. Pretty creepy, pretty twisted. Goosebumps 2, I believe. Yep, my kids love that one, so we picked that one up for them to watch. Ghostbusters, I think this is the female Ghostbusters steelbook we picked up at Best Buy. And then we also have of course, the originals. The first Ghostbusters with, of course, Bill Murray and cast. And then the second one as well, Ghostbusters 2. But those were fun. Hacksaw Ridge is a good, I believe, World War II movie. Has Andrew Garfield in it as well. One of our more recent Spider-Mans. Halloween, really good movie. It's the original Halloween, so it looks really nice in 4K, and it's just one of my favorite classic just horror films. And then, they made a lot of sequels in between there, but honestly, all that really matters is the ones that they kind of continued it. They're kind of making this the second one, really and truly, whenever they re-released, or whenever they came out with this one in 2018. Really enjoyed it, the new Halloween movies. I got that one in Steelbook 4K. And then also I'm a big fan of Todd McFarlane art. He did this right here, and it looks really nice, so I bought one of those as well. But same movie, just another type of a case for it. Hitman's Bodyguard is really good, actually. Really enjoyed that movie. Kind of a different different title altogether, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And they're actually making a sequel, apparently. So, House of the Clock on the Walls. We enjoy that movie. My kids really, really enjoy it. They watch it a lot. How to Train Your Dragon. I've still yet haven't seen this any of these movies. I started to watch the first one time. I got distracted and I never came back to it. But we decided to go ahead and buy them because we'll watch them at some point because the steelbooks were just so nice. I'm a sucker for steelbooks. So that's the first one, and then this is the second, which also looks absolutely beautiful. If you guys can see that very good or not. Sorry about the quality again. But yeah, love the way they look, and the movies did real well, so at some point I'll end up watching them. We've got In the Heart of the Sea. That was a good one. It was a huge title, but I really enjoyed it. Oh, this was, I believe, what was it called? Oh, yeah, Winter's War. So, yeah, the Huntsman, I believe. Yeah, so part of the, kind of, they did that Snow White, you know, a few years back, and they also had the Huntsman, like the second one to it. It's pretty good. Incredibles, those are classics. We got both of those, and that one's in steelbook, and this was just the regular slipcover. Incredibles 2. What we got here? Independence Day. That's a really good one. The original is really good. The second one's not terrible. You know, The Resurgence, that was okay. It wasn't quite as good as the first one, but, you know, it was all right. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie still. Also got, what we got here? Oh, yeah, It. So the new It movies are really good. This is the first one, steelbook. And this is It 2, I believe, yeah. And that's the steelbook for the It 2. John Wick. I haven't, I think I've seen all three of them. I actually only own the first one. I might have the second one digital, but I actually have the first one in physical copy. Joker. I really enjoyed this movie when it came out. You know, this past year. Really great performance by Joaquin Phoenix. Story's really good. I really liked what the route they took on that, and then on top of that, just the way they did the character. They kind of gave him that old look from the Batman from the '60s. So really enjoyed that, and then I couldn't pass up the steelbook when it came out. So I picked that up as well. Let's see, we got here Jumanji. So the original Jumanji is, of course, a classic, and the new ones are, you know, they're really living up to it. So we got the first one, and we got the new one in steelbook, or not the newest one, but the second one in steelbook. Justice League. Again, I didn't care for it a whole lot the first time. The second time around, I really enjoyed it. I don't know, for some reason, I really enjoyed it when I watched it the second time. So not too bad, overall. This is the Jurassic Park set. You know, it has the, I think it's 1, 2, 3, and Jurassic World. And then I've also got Jurassic World, you know, the second one to that, just separate. So, Karate Kid's a classic. I've got the first Karate Kid. I still remember seeing that one in the theater when I was real little. So, yeah, but it's a great movie. Still lives up to today's, you know, as one of my favorite movies. But really awesome. Ralph Macchio still has it, you know. So, we got Kingsman. That was pretty good. The first one was pretty good. The second one I hadn't seen, so I'm not sure how that one is. Kong is really good. That's a really really colorful movie in 4K. If you guys haven't seen The Labyrinth, that's a good about mid-'80s movie. It was a lot of fun. Jennifer Connelly's in that one. Of course, David Bowie. Lego. Oh yeah, the Lego Ninjago movie. The kids love that one. We'll watch it with them once in a while. This is the one I was talking about earlier that Luc Besson did. Leon the Professional, another really great movie. Just a good story again, and it looks incredible in 4K. The Little Mermaid, that's a really beautiful steelbook that came out whenever they released it in 4K. Pick that up. Logan, I really like where they went with the character. They made him, you know, kind of a, let me get that out of the glare there. They made it really good. I mean, they made his, you know, a later years version of Logan. He just came out really good. The way he was just kind of having a rough time, and, you know, kind of on his last year, so to say, he's just kind of having, you know, it's just been rough. So I like how they went with that story, and it's a very dark version, you know, because I know it's the Sony that, you know, did it, so, you know, they have a little bit more, they're not afraid to put those in like rated R movies, the Marvel characters. So, but no, really enjoyed that. It was a great movie, one of my favorite ones of all. Lucy's pretty good. One of those movies I didn't care for the first time I saw it, and then it kind of grew on me. So, got that one there. It looks really nice. The Martian was a pretty good movie. Not a huge Matt Damon fan, but, you know, the Martian movie is pretty good. Pretty good story. It's pretty neat. So, there's those guys. Let me pass you by my little shelf. Sorry how dark it is, but got my little Freddy Krueger statue in here. And I've got the kind of the female version of Ash. Not sure if you can see her very good, but Kind of move it forward a little bit, see if that helps. Yeah. In the background, I've got a couple action figures in their boxes there. On this side, I have a shelf that just has the, you know, of course, Ripley's famous scene where she's fighting the xenomorph, the queen xenomorph, to try to kill her. So that was a little collector's edition when I think it was Alien Colonial Marine video game came out. That was what came with it. Not that great of a game, but I really enjoyed the statue. In the back there, it's got a really bad glare, but Return of the Living Dead, that's a Laserdisc movie. If you guys aren't familiar with those, that's a really old school, you know, I guess format for movies. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, it's like basically it's a DVD. It's like a giant, you know, DVD. It's like a record size DVD. So, but with those, a lot of those movies you had to actually flip, and you know, you'll have side A, and then once it gets to a certain point when it's about to stop, you'll have to flip to side B and start the movie back up again. And sometimes they were like 4 discs long, or you know, 2 or 3 of the actual Laserdisc long, and not very efficient compared to nowadays, but they were pretty neat. So I collect, like I said, that kind of stuff. But that's the Laserdisc back there. Got the Crow right here in the front, and now we'll get back down to the movies. Almost done, guys, but here's, we'll go a little bit faster. The second Mary Poppins is really good. Mary Poppins Returns, we picked that up on 4K. The original Matrix, still my favorite out of the trilogy. I never was a big fan on the sequels, but love the original. The Meg, I really enjoyed that movie, believe it or not. I really like Jaws. I know the Meg's not quite the same, but it was still a fun watch. The Mummy, the new one with Tom Cruise, I thought it was great. A lot of people are hating on that movie, but I thought it was pretty great. Oblivion, another great Tom Cruise movie. Ocean's 8. I haven't seen all the Ocean's movies. I've seen, I think, the very first one, Ocean's 11, and I also saw this one, which was pretty good, just like with the female cast, but they did a great job. Okay, so this movie just came out not too long ago, and I really, really enjoy it. It's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. Great flick. Really good story. Really fun. It takes a kind of interesting take on the whole Charlie Manson murders. But if you get a chance, watch that. It was pretty interesting. It had kind of a neat little twist on it. Pet Sematary in 4K. Really nice steelbook I picked up for that one. Let's see. We got Pirates of the Caribbean. Which one is that? This is the newest one, right? Dead Man Tell No Tales. Yeah, that was a really good one. I got that one steelbook. Predator. It's the entire Predator movie set in 4K. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Believe it or not, that's a great movie. It's silly, but it's fun, you know. Quick and the Dead's a really good movie as well. It has a really good cast. Sharon Stone, you know, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio. So, really good cast. Wreck-It Ralph. This is the second one. Ralph Breaks the Internet. That was pretty good. Oh, I've recently picked up a lot of the Rambo movies. So I have the Rambo First Blood, and then the most recent one, The Last Blood. But I have all the rest of them on digital as well in 4K, and they're great. I really enjoy watching them. You know, they're just good fun. Ready Player One, really fun movie when it came out. Got a lot of great 80s reference video game stuff in there. The Revenant, that was really good. That was a good Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Here's that Rise of the Planet of the Apes I was telling you about earlier. So again, I've watched this one, just haven't seen the second one yet or the third one. Risen was a good movie. That was really nice. I liked it when it came out. This is the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and that was really good. That was really interesting. We saw that in the theater, me and my wife. The Shallows. That's another great shark movie. Not really cheesy at all. It's actually really fun to watch and really colorful. It looks great in 4K. If you get a chance, that's another one I highly recommend. Shape of Water was a strange movie, but the steelbook was absolutely beautiful, so we decided to pick it up. The Shining, of course, that's a classic Stanley Kubrick classic. We picked that one up in 4K, and I really enjoyed the steelbook for that, so we grabbed that one. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. You're comfortable here. There we go. Sicario. I haven't seen the second one yet, but the first one was really good. It has Emily Blunt in it, and Benicio del Toro. I can't remember. Oh, Josh Brolin's in that as well. That's a good story. It was pretty fun. It's like, you know, a drug cartel, stuff like that. So, the new Star Wars movie, one of them, Solo. That was pretty cool. Got that, what do you call it? That special kind of packaging they have at Target. I can't remember what they call it. I think it's like Digibook or something. It was pretty good. The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was another great movie. Really good animated Spider-Man movie. Split, part of the trilogy, was really good. The original, one of the newer Star Treks, but they released that one in 4K, and I kind of jumped on that. Let's see. Star Wars wise, I've got the only really Star Wars aside from Solo is I think it's just the Last Jedi, right? Yeah, Last Jedi. They're about to release the whole 4K set, so I'm really counting on getting that one. I've already got it pre-ordered and paid for. I've just got to wait for it to come out. But yeah, that's actually what I'm more excited for, is to see all the originals in 4K. I know Disney's already streaming them, but I like to have my physical copies as well, so I can't wait to see what that looks like when it actually comes out. Suicide Squad, a lot of people hate on that one. I thought it was pretty good, actually. It wasn't too bad, you know. It wasn't the best DC movie, but it was still fun to watch. Suspiria, this one isn't a very common one. People don't, actually, these next two aren't very common. Suspiria is, so it's I think it's like a 70s horror movie, and they released it on 4K, and it transferred really well. The colors look really nice in it. It's a really good movie to watch. It's different, you know, it's kind of slow moving, but it was fun. So it's definitely a good one if you get a chance to check that out. You probably have to order that one. You don't usually find that one at your local stores, but it's not super expensive. You can probably get it online for like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. So it's not like crazy out of the ballpark or anything. The next one also is kind of an oddball one. This one's weird, guys. Tammy and the T-Rex. I really enjoyed the movie. It is super cheesy. Came out in about, I think it was 1994. Denise Richards, and yeah, as you see at the top there, Denise Richards and Paul Walker were both in it, and they're both super young. Again, it's like early 90s. So it's cheesy, gory kind of flick, but it was actually kind of fun to watch. I won't go into too much detail, but it's literally Paul Walker's character ends up being a in this robot dinosaur you see here in the front, this robot T-Rex, and well, like I said, without ruining the story, but you have to watch it from there. But it's an odd movie, and very gory, extremely gory. I think the first time they released, I think the 4K version is the first time they released the true edition that had like all the actual gore. Like I think the rest of them were like PG-13 versions. I think this is the actual first time they had actually made like an unrated version of it, which had so much more gore. But it's fun. You gotta check it out. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's like 30 something bucks, I think, if you want to try to pick that up on Amazon or something. And I've got a couple of the Terminator movies. So I got T2, which is a classic. Terminator Genesis, I didn't mind it. It didn't do very well, but I liked it. I'm pretty much a fan of most of the Terminator movies. The newest one I really enjoyed, Dark Fate, which is right here. I had a lot of fun seeing that movie, and my wife didn't see it in the theater with me, so when we got it in 4K, she watched it as soon as we got it at home, and she really liked it also. My wife is a huge Tomb Raider fan, even though these are a little bit more the cheesier ones. So we had the Lara Croft Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie, and then the second one, which was the Cradle of Life Tomb Raider, again with Angelina Jolie. And then the one I really enjoyed was the newer one that came out, I think, in 2018. Really good. I like it because it's more of a realistic take on her. You know, it's still kind of over the top gun shooting and stuff like that, but it was fun. It was really good. Unforgiven's a great Clint Eastwood movie if you haven't seen that one. Really, really good. It did so well. I think it came out in 1992, but it's probably one of my favorite, Western style movies. Valerian's pretty good. It's also done by Luc Besson, the guy that did I was telling you earlier, Leon or Leon the Professional, and of course The Fifth Element. Valerian's pretty good. It's a very colorful movie. The story's okay. It's not incredible or anything, but it was okay. Venom. It's a great movie, great Marvel, and I know it's through Sony, but it's a great Marvel character, and they did a good job with the movie. Warm Blood, Warm Bodies. It's a really good movie. It's kind of a different take on a zombie movie. Like he's basically kind of coming out of his zombie state. He's starting to reason and become human again. So it's interesting. If you get a chance, it's definitely worth a watch. I'm a huge Watchmen fan, so the Watchmen movie, of course, I had to own that. It was really good in 4K as well. The Wizard of Oz. This is one of my favorite steelbooks, guys. That looks beautiful, right? We picked this one up as soon as it came out in 4K. Again, the steelbook is just phenomenal, so we had to have that. But that one's beautiful, and then even the one right next to it, the Wonder Woman, was also a great movie on top of the steelbook itself. Was just beautiful as well. So. This is what I picked up at a pawn shop for like $2. So I figured, why not? Winners of the Arctic. It's just going to be one of those, visual kind of movie or documentary style things where it just kind of steps you through the actual Arctic. I haven't watched it yet, but I mean, it's definitely one of those. They've done like the planet Earth and stuff like that. So this is another one of those where it just shows you some very beautiful footage of apparently the Arctic. Last two, guys. So Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. which I showed you guys. I had the Ralph Breaks Internet earlier, and that one's the Steelbook right there. And then the last one I have right here for you is X-Men Apocalypse, which I liked it. It was okay. I liked Days of Future Past the best still, but that one went terrible. So that's it, guys, as far as my 4K movies go. Did want to kind of tell you a couple of things I'm looking forward to. I ordered, there's the Dawn of the Dead version, like a UK version that I've got on order, so I'll probably do a video for that when it gets here. Same thing with The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. It's going to get here in a few days, maybe a week or so. But once I get those in, guys, I'll probably do quick videos on those, maybe like unboxings or just kind of, go over them as well and add them to my 4K collection. That's about it, guys, for now. You guys have a good one, and I will do some more of these videos. I don't like just doing one thing. Like I kind of got myself caught up in just doing the arcade games, but there's so much other stuff that I really enjoy and I want to kind of share with you guys. So, I got video game stuff. I got obviously the movies, action figures. I collect a lot of action figures and statues. So I will end it right there, but we'll get back to it again. Probably see you guys in about a week or so. Bye.